Today we are going to analyze every Marvel comic released in the United States with a cover date of June 1963. You'll see there's 10 in total released that month. We're going to focus on the superhero genre issues. Starting with Fantastic Four number 15, let's learn about what's so key about these books and compare them, their rarity and their value to see where you should be investing and collecting. Fantastic Four number 15 is the 56th Marvel Silver Age superhero comic put out. It's the first appearance of the Thinker, also known as the Mad Thinker. It's the 20th most valuable first appearance Marvel comic of 1963. Print run estimated at 200,000 copies. At this time, Fantastic Four was Marvel's best-selling superhero title. You can see in the last 20 years, the CGC census has graded 493 copies, but the book is very hard to find in 9.6 or better. Only 6 copies existing in the world graded. Heritage has sold 134 copies in the last 20 years. Here's the classic cover with a cool yellow background. The Overstrike Annual Price Guide shows us all the prices for every condition over the years, and you can see the book has not quite doubled in low grade over this time period, but has gone up about 2.5 times raw in high grade. And on the census, we have 2 9.8s in existence, and there is a UK price edition, which is really hard to find, only 4 copies total graded of that key book. The next book that came out this month, Journey into Mystery number 93. This features the 11th appearance of Thor. And the Radioactive Man makes his first appearance in this issue, and there is Jack Kirby cover art. This one a little scarcer on the census and even rarer in super high grade, only 5 copies. Overstreet Price Guide, the book has basically doubled in this time frame, and in high grade has gone up 3 times. And on the census, there are no 9.8s at all in existence, but there are 5 9.6s, and there's only 2 of the rare price variants from England available on this book. You'll notice that it was a big month for the teen books, as Patsy Walker was featured in her 2 regular ongoing titles. Modeling with Millie and Kathy had new issues this month. And Rawhide Kid number 34 was the Western release from Marvel this month. So the next superhero book on our list is Strange Tales 109. And this book, as usual, this was the 9th issue in a row featuring the Human Torch as the main feature. He was also in the Fantastic Four every month. So at this time, again, the Human Torch is basically Marvel's most promoted character, perhaps their biggest character. And again, Jack Kirby cover art, kind of interesting monster cover. On the census, again, not many copies. Very rare for books of this age. We're in mid-1963. Heritage has not sold a lot of these. This isn't a major key book. On the Overstreet Price Guide, it has not doubled in this time frame in low grade, but in high grade it has tripled. People realizing that this really is a rare book in high grade. And on the census, there's only 1 9.8. And again, there's a UK price variant, but only 2 copies graded. The average grade is a 3.7. The next book that came out on our list, Tales of Suspense, number 42. This is a bit more of a big key. This is the 4th appearance ever of Iron Man, and the book features classic Jack Kirby cover art. This one's a little more common on the census, more people hunting this book out, higher price tag, and therefore more people grading it. 405 copies in total, but 8 9.6s or better. Heritage has also sold many more copies of this book. And on the Overstreet Annual Price Guide, we can see the book has doubled in low grade, and it's gone up 3.5 times in high grade. Now remember, these are raw prices average for the year. These are conservative prices, so you should check eBay and the GP Analysis websites for more current sales, just to see where current sales are, to see what the market's doing at this very moment. There are 2 9.8s graded, and 4 copies in total of the UK price variant. But again, the highest copy graded is an 8. And on our list, Tales to Astonish number 44. And this is approximately, I'm going to say, Ant-Man's maybe 12th appearance. But this is actually a pretty big book. This is the first appearance and origin of the Wasp. And it predates even X-Men number 1 and Avengers number 1. Jack Kirby cover art. And print run estimated on this title at this time at 189,000 copies. But on the census, quite hard to find. There are lots of copies graded in the total, 853, but only 4 9.6s or better. Heritage has really picked up sales in recent years on this one, which means it's a bigger demand book. People want this one. And look at this. This book has really taken off in the last 5 years. In our census here, you can see the book has gone up 800% in low grade. That's quite incredible for the books that were released this month. So this seems to be the winner for the book that's really moving at the fastest pace. Again, in high grade, also huge jumps. Biggest jump would be about 2016, around there. And on the census, there are 2 9.8s, and there are 12 of the UK price variants. So again, definitely people hunting this one out as more of a major key book. Comparing these books on the CGC census, we find some interesting stats. Journey into Mystery 93 was the only one that does not have any 9.8s graded. Okay. In terms of which book's been graded the most, Tales to Astonish 44 because of the first appearance of Wasp, 853 copies, but still pretty scarce in the high grade, so you really get to see how rare these books are. None of the books on this list have more than 2 9.8s graded, and the CGC's been around for 20 years, which means it seems like there just aren't any copies out there. Of course, private collections may be sitting on some of these, but at this point, most people are grading their valuable books to take care of them. And just to compare with some of the other books that Marvel marketed this year, Modeling with Millie number 23, there are only 3 copies graded in total, 1 super high grade book, but the average is a 7. So that kind of shows you the rarity and the supply and demand of these books, the movement they've had in the price guides, and also pointing out what makes these all key books. So we'll be back again next week with another month in the history of Marvel Comics. So we'd like to thank you for watching.